Hey, welcome to another episode of the ebirds tutorials. In this tutorial, we're going to look at location scouting for birding destinations. Whenever I go out to a new birding destination or even to a place that I've been before, I always pretty much scout to see pretty much what birds there are there, and what people have seen pretty recently. Ebirds has a great way of helping us location scout for any kind of new place that you ever uh, a new place that we might go birding at some point, or a place that we've been to before, but maybe someone has seen a new bird or a particular bird that you haven't seen before, and they've actually logged it. Once you get to your eBirds homepage, what you can do is obviously log in, and then where we're going to start off is on the Explore tab at the top here. Once we get here, there's a bunch of options that we can do. These are some great options that we can explore, and we'll explore all of these kind of one by one, but the two that we're going to look at is species maps and explore hotspots. Species maps are pretty much if you're looking for a particular species somewhere in the world. So if I am looking for an African barred owlet, I'll click on the African barred owlet, and what eBirds will then do is pretty much zoom in, but also tell me everywhere that I'll be able to find this particular bird, which is great. I can then start zooming in, and it will start pretty much showing me where this bird is found. I can go more and inside of the Kruger Park, and we'll start seeing a bunch of hotspots. Hotspots are the ones that have these flames, and then the other ones are pretty much where you'll be able to see just kind of like single kind of records of where people have seen them. The difference between the red hotspots and the blue hotspots is that the blue hotspots are kind of like well-known places, but the red hotspots are when people have seen them very recently. So if we click on any of the red hotspots, we'll see that the date for these particular place for this particular bird is very recent. Whereas if you click on one of these other hotspots, you'll probably see that it's probably a few older than 30 days. Pretty much is the criteria. So yeah, you can go to a place like I think like Letaba, and you'll see that there's multiple records of this particular bird that has been seen. So you'll be able to see, and what's nice about it is it shows that like someone has taken a photo and actually shown the photo. Other people have put comments particular on for when they've actually seen the bird itself. So this is pretty great. And yeah, that's pretty much the species map. I'm gonna then go over to now the hotspots. So species maps are great for looking at one particular bird and trying to find that one particular bird in a certain place, whereas exploring hotspots is a different ball game, but it's pretty much very similar. So as you load it, you'll actually see the whole world map and all the birds that are, well, all the locations that are pretty much like there for birding. And what you'll see is our legend over here. So as we go from 0 to 600 plus is pretty much where you'll be able to see specific hotspots where you'll be able to see up to 600 or 700 birds in a particular place. So again, as we go into South Africa, I'm going to go into the Kruger National Park again. A really good spot for birding is Bafuri. So as it starts loading, we'll start seeing a bunch of hotspots over here, and obviously in these particular hotspots, you'll be able to see certain birds. So we'll go over here and we'll click on one of these, and we'll see that the Porphyry S63 area, there's been 424 birds that have been seen across 195 checklists. So what's great about this is that, like, now you know within this area that 195 checklists have been submitted, which is great. And they've, out of those 195 checklists, 424 birds have been seen. We can then click on details, and this will then start providing us with an actual list of the particular birds. So last seen for these birds. So last seen is pretty much the last time someone saw a particular bird in, I don't think this is in any particular order, but like it's based on the date itself. So everything is date based, and so it's not really when people logged it, it's more just based on the date. So you can see the last time someone logged something in this area was the 15th of February. And you can pretty much go down and you can actually just see what birds people have seen and all the counts. So generally people have tried to also count the number of birds that they've actually seen. So again, this is something that helps a lot with the conservation, because a lot of ornithologists want to know like how many birds were particularly in the area, especially if there's a lot of migrant birds that are kind of like going through these particular areas. What's cool is that you can also see some media. So you can see some of the pictures that people have taken. So you can see this awesome ferocious eagle owl that someone's taken that they probably attached somewhere. And you can also just see like recent visitors. And you can see if you're in the top ebirders for that particular area. It seems like I'm not part of this one, so I've not logged against this particular hotspot, but I have logged against other hotspots in this particular area. So if I go back, I can potentially just show you that. I have logged, I think, in the Porphyry camp, and it will show that I have logged 70 birds, so I'm technically number 25 of the top ebirders for this particular hotspot. So it's also just quite cool to kind of like see that also the birds that you've pretty much been logging and stuff like that is also like contributing to the area's kind of like bird count and stuff like that. And then based on last seen, you'll see if there's any birds that you've seen last. So actually in 2020, I actually was the last person to see marabou stork in this area, and a few other birds, 2 other birds. So that's actually pretty great. And no one's kind of seen it ever since. Or maybe people have seen it, but they haven't actually logged it on eBirds. Maybe they're using a different app. First seen is also great. Because first seen is based on when someone like first ever saw a particular bird. So the newest bird for this particular area was Senegal lapwing. This is the first time it's ever been seen and actually recorded for this particular hotspot. So you can pretty much just go down and see that's obviously a new bird for this particular area and stuff like that. That's kind of been logged. And that's pretty much it. We will go through some of the other explore options in upcoming videos. But yeah, if you have any comments, let me know. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.